Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mum and Dad Show. My name's Isaac Butterfield. This is Claire Butterfield, my beautiful wife, and this is Atticus Butterfield.
Hello.
Our lovely little child. Hello, Addie. How do you do? Don't you go grabbing microphones, mate. Look at him go. He's turned into an absolute... He has grown up so much. Let go of it, you rat. But God,
Do you want your
Jesus
birdie?
Christ.
You're so clever.
He has been.
no.
He has been abusing my beard over the last couple of
has.
weeks. It's been an outrage, like grabbing it, twisting it, and because I haven't had a haircut in the last couple of weeks because I'm bald, and a beard trim. Like the little scraggly bits of beard have been copping an absolute flogging, and it makes me ill, sick, and distraught. Claire, your opinion and your thoughts.
It comes from love. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Like I go to give him a smooch, and he just grabs a hold of me face hair and twists it and turns it and wants to see me in pain, possibly to perish.
He just loves grabbing and chewing at the moment. It's a milestone, apparently.
It's like me in the pantry. Just
It's
grab
how
and
he's
chew,
learning what
grab and
anything
chew.
is.
Yeah, well, they feel things out with like their mouth, so that's how they figure out things.
He's very clever.
Hot and cold and spicy or whatever.
What's your daddy got?
Talking about crazy milestones for this little guy. We recently went to, if you didn't know, America. That's why there hasn't been any podcasts for a couple of weeks.
I hope we've been missed, but somehow I doubt it.
Addie just burps on the show. That's his first burp, taken after his mum.
Oh, just like mummy. Also, if you hear me making a weird noise, Pepper, our dog, is under this desk and I'm patting her trying to get her to sit up.
God, she's a poo. She will not stop eating poo, by the way.
That's another story.
God, I think I've talked about it on the show before, but she ate poo coming out of Littlefoot's ass the other day. And that was, like, as Claire called it at the time, a beautiful soft serve. I don't know if you said beautiful, but you definitely said soft serve.
Tasty.
And that...
Oh, no.
Was there nuts in there?
No.
But we just got back from America, and the great thing for us about going to America was working out whether or not we could travel with
Little man.
a little man. And you know, like I know it was going to be, you had to do it at some point, but to get over that fear and that anxiety and actually just do it,
I'm so glad we did
was
it.
a really great experience for us. Like, I want to get in and talk about America, but
Yes.
let's talk about how we actually planned out traveling with a tiny child. Because there's a lot of things that go into it that you wouldn't even think about.
I think we should discuss some just small things. I don't want to ramble too much, but about tips that we definitely... Tits on toast. No, things that like actually
I
helped
don't think
us.
a lot of people who aren't Australian would know what tits on toast are.
You haven't lived.
Claire, tits on toast? I've never been.
I've never been either.
Caleb, I guarantee you've been.
The fuck's tits on toast?
Oh my God.
Is that like a Hooters?
Oh my.
No, so tits on toast is...
Slappers with their boobs out.
Yeah, when you go to like and they got the nude or topless waitresses.
Yeah.
And you go to breakfast and they have topless waitresses.
Shit, do they still do that?
Yes.
There's a pub in
really
Newcastle
gross
that does
pubs.
it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no.
Like blokes who are going for a big day on the sauce at the races or whatever.
Let's go and see Cheryl down at
Or not even, maybe like a Bucks party
Yeah.
or a, whatever they call it in America.
No wonder everyone hates men.
I
A
know.
lot of you suck.
Dirty fucking pigs. Well, you're the ones with your tits out.
That's right. I need to stop.
Yes.
It needs to end. For Atticus's sake.
Addie doesn't like tits on toast. He likes tits on bread.
He's got such a beautiful outfit on today. He's got his little Gryffindor onesie on from
Potter!
Universal. You're ready for a nap soon too, aren't
Yeah,
you,
well,
bugger
I thought
lugger?
we'd start the show with him unnapped, and then
Yes.
perhaps he will progressively nap throughout the show. We shall see. So to travel with a baby, now
Yes.
Addie is bottle fed.
Yes.
Born and bred bottle fed, and so you have to travel with, like, I think we had 12 bottles.
Yep. A thermos, the Yeti thermos was like number one thing. Get
was
yourself
so
a
good.
Yeti thermos.
That was great because it keeps you have to have sterile water. So you got to boil the water, then you got to keep it in the thermos to keep it sterile. It stays sterile stays sterile for 24 hours, and then you have to do it again. But the thing about America is, and traveling throughout America, they don't have kettles.
no,
because they don't-
get a travel kettle
So you need
from
a
Amazon.
travel kettle from Amazon that folds up in your suitcase. So we've got to travel that. Then you got to. Is Pepper going to do a shit in here? Fuck
No,
off.
she's just confused.
Sorry, Addie. We got to. What is the stage of life where you got to stop swearing around kids?
I think it's coming up.
It's coming up. Because otherwise, Addie's going to wake up one morning and go, "G'day, you good motherfuckers. Little Buttsmarn here."
Think of the money though.
Starting
I
now.
know. Australia's rudest baby.
Oh, the other tip was, and then I'll bypass this because it's boring for most people. the little travel containers for formula. Look that up on Amazon.
Yeah. If you don't have a baby, you don't know what we're talking about. Be prepared. All right, because it's going to happen to you.
That's
It
right.
happened to me. I never thought it would, but it happened to me.
Jesus
Now I'm
Christ.
stuck with a little tiny, gorgeous little human.
Oh, he's perfect.
So we jumped on the plane to Los Angeles. We went over there for some podcasts. I got to meet Joe Rogan, which was absolutely incredible and fantastic. That was great. And we went to his club.
And Tony Hinchcliffe.
And Tony Hinchcliffe. We went to go to his club in Austin, got to spend some time there. And we are going to be in America next year doing shows. Now, I did explain this in a video recently. The reason I didn't do shows in America this year as planned, the gentleman who was the agent who I was working with, a very...
Straw's dirty. Fuck.
Are you okay?
No, go on.
This bloody big bottle business. Why don't you just have little bottles?
I need to commit. Move on.
So he was. He had some family problems happen, and which was a real shame. It was very, very sad what had happened. And you're okay, mate.
Is have you got a bear toy for the dogs, or is that Addie's?
What has Pepper got?
Oh, what's she?
Pepper.
Oh.
What do you got, Pepper?
Welcome to our life.
Oh my God, isn't it just a fucking shit fight?
Oh.
Everyone's bluing and crying and screaming and guns.
Oh, Pepper. Oh,
Don't
thank
touch that one.
goodness for Caleb.
That's like a $70 teddy.
Yeah, it is.
That's a $70 teddy for
That's
little
your
boys.
spit. Look at his little dimples. Thank you, Caleb.
So those shows unfortunately didn't go ahead, but we will be back next year to do a proper tour. But we did have a great time in America, Dickie.
Such a good
Can
time.
you run through your experiences, Blues?
Ooh, the highlights. Oh, Bubba.
Addy had his first cold over there too.
He
That was
did.
fucked.
He had yucky temp and he had a yucky cold.
We're
we
all
made
sick.
it through. We all had a cold. That was a bit horrendous. But having said that, Universal and Disneyland were
They were
top
cool.
notch.
We
Super,
didn't spend
super cool.
all day there. We spent like a couple of hours because of Atticus.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's so little. It'd be too overstimulating for him. But we went for a
And
little bit.
it was hot. That
It
was
was
the big
hot.
thing too. It was like 35, 36 degrees. And there's no shade at these places. Like
No.
they deliberately do that so that you go and hide in the shops and in the
And
air
it
conditioning.
worked.
And it worked. Fuck, sorry for swearing. We spent some money at Disney. Oh my God. We would have spent like, what, $700? Nah.
No.
Including the tickets, probably $800.
Yes.
Well, that's not that much.
Well,
Considering they're fucking like $300 each.
it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
We were there last year.
I know.
Jesus. But it is really cool. And he was obviously too young to do many of the things.
We took
there.
him on one ride. We went on the Monsters Inc. ride.
We did go on the Monsters Inc.
And
ride.
the dark frightened Daddy, so that wasn't great. But the rest of it he liked. I filmed it as well, so he filmed his first ride, and
Yeah.
then the rest of the time we just sort of like went around all the shops and ate things and
Got
walked
amongst
around. And he had a little fan and his hat on, and then we fucked off back to the hotel and rested because it was just way too much. But Texas was lit.
Texas
we loved
was
that.
the highlight.
The
And
food, the people.
Los Angeles, and we went to San Fran as well. In the airport at the hire car place at San Fran, we had to hire a car everywhere with him and his car seat. But they said, do not lock the car, take everything out of the car, otherwise your window will get smashed. So the crime there
So that was reassuring when we just got there.
Is so bad. But so we did that. We were only there for 2 days and we lived to tell the tale somehow. But Texas, how good is Texas? Other than Houston, because we were sick in Houston. But
Yeah, so that's dead to us.
Texas is fantastic. What were your thoughts on, like, what did you love about Texas? If there's one thing you could take away and tell other people, what did you love about Texas the most?
I think how safe I felt there, to be honest. I think it felt, I loved how safe I felt with Addy Boy. I loved how friendly everyone was. It sort of felt like the most Aussie place we've been to. Everyone was you'd smile at someone and most people would smile back. Whereas I know when we've been to New York or LA, everyone's sort of just keeping to themselves, out for themselves, not smiling much. Whereas in Texas, it'd be like, hello, and you get a hello back, and everyone had dogs. There were dogs in all the cafes. And I asked one of the baristas one day, I was like, what's going on here? You have dogs everywhere in Texas. And she was like, yeah, it's a really dog-friendly place. And I was like, well,
Bunch of dogs everywhere you go.
that's right. Oh, baba. Oh, and very cute story. Addie fell in love with a golden retriever in Texas.
What was that dog? I can't remember the dog's name.
Super cute.
That
Out
was
of
in
all the
Austin.
dogs, he went and he thought it was really funny and he laughed. Didn't ya? You
do you
liked the
think?
golden. Mummy spat on you then, sorry.
Should we have a little break and
Yes, we'll
put
pat
him
this
off to
man off
sleep?
and we'll come back refreshed. Well, one of us will.
And welcome back to the program. I'm just going to put my headphones on so I know if I'm actually talking loud enough. So yes, we had a great time in Austin. What a great part of the world.
No wonder everyone moves there.
Yeah, and there is this feeling in Austin that too many people have moved there and now they don't like it. I mean, I didn't see that, but I also didn't see what Austin used to be like. So
I could see that if you were a local and you've like been born and bred there and then you
Mm.
just see all these trendies moving in.
like us.
But yes, but I could see why.
So
It felt clean for a big city. It felt
Yeah.
like
There was one part, 6th Street, where all the homeless people live. But Claire spent a bit of time down there making extra cash. But other than that... What? Oh,
doing what?
selling drugs, not sucking dicks.
Oh, that you meant. Oh,
I
well.
did. I was being an asshole. But no, we drove along there, and one of the first things I saw in Austin was this lady in the gutter. I thought she was doing her nails, like cutting her cuticles. She was injecting heroin into her fingers. It's the first thing I saw. One of the first things. So that was a bit of a weird one. But if you don't go out at night time, I think that's the thing about America. Just don't go out at night time. You sweet.
I think it's the same here. Like we were watching a current affair last night, and they
As
were
we do
doing
every
this every night. They were doing this stupid poll, and it was like, "Would Australian women feel unsafe walking around at night time?" And I was like, "Wouldn't men feel unsafe too?
Well, and that's the thing. Men do feel.
Wouldn't you
unsafe.
just, as a human,
Depends where you are, obviously.
because humans, like, we're naturally wired to be afraid of the dark. Wouldn't you be scared any gender of being
yeah.
around at night time?
If you've got, let's say, over the road, you've got two giant dudes walking down, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a man or a woman, you're going to feel scared.
Yeah.
You're going to be not like.
Don't get me wrong, probably more so as a woman for sure.
sure.
But I just thought it was a little bit weird, and I was like, I think blokes would be scared too.
You're going to be fearful. I mean, it's just how it is.
I think that's common sense.
You have to be fearful of people you don't know because you don't know what they're going to do.
100%. I think that's just us being animals in a way.
For sure, you got to protect yourself, and I
Yeah.
think that's why a lot of people were racist for a long time. Is because
Yeah.
if someone looks,
You don't look
differently-
like we do. What
Yeah,
are you?
What are you?
Yeah.
I think it could be said for any part of the world where white people turned up or black people or brown people turned up for the first time they saw them, they're like, shit, what the fuck are
You
these
feel
things?
threatened immediately, just like an animal would.
Yeah, and that's just human nature. And we have grown from that to realise that, we don't have to listen to our animalistic side of our brain. We can actually think for ourselves. But yeah, so
Some people shouldn't voice what they think all the time, though.
that's the problem with the internet. As I always say, it's like it's great, gets people's voices out there,
Yes.
but it's terrible because it gets people's voices out there.
Oh. There's a lot of shit just floating around. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, it's like a big turd that just won't flush.
If you know, you know.
Oh yeah, IKY, IKY. If you know, you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So we went to Austin. We went to Rogan's Club. We spent a bit of time at this place called Archery Country, which was great. We spent a bit of time with these guys. They were so nice. Spent all afternoon there really, and then hung out with them and made friends with them and had lunch with
Went
them.
to Bucky's.
Went to Bucky's is sick. How would you describe Bucky's, Dickie?
Like a shopping, meat, coffee, food, paradise
Like if Bunnings had a restaurant in the middle,
with decent fast food.
great food, and either side of it
And
had
clothes. Decent clothes.
groceries, and it
Knick-knacks.
was a gas station.
Coffee.
So Costco.
better.
Nah, better.
Better.
Better than
Better.
Costco. So Bucky's, you might have seen them on TikTok and stuff or Instagram. They have they cook briskets and they make like brisket sandwiches.
Sexy brisket.
So anytime they bring out a
We got a
brisket,
sexy sandwich.
I did. It was very nice. What did you get? You got like a
I got a breakfast burger and it had brisket and ham and bacon and eggs and cheese
take
and
me
sauce
back.
and
Claire's
all
bow.
on a toasted brioche bun.
Claire's bow was pulsating.
It really was.
When they pull out a new brisket, because there would have been at least 400 people in the store. It was
Easily.
packed.
Very overstimulating, but
Oh,
I'd taken
yeah.
my meds, so I powered through.
You walked in, you're just like, but yeah. So you walk in, and they're pulling out briskets. But every time they pull out a new brisket, which is like every 5-6 minutes.
You loved this too.
They yell out, "Fresh brisket on the board," and then everyone, this is all
Everyone
the staff,
scurries.
and then all the staff, they have to repeat it. "Fresh brisket on the board," and then everyone's like runs over. They're like, "Yes, get my breakfast sandwich," and Claire's back over there going, "Oh, I want another one of your fucking dogs."
And I liked the coffees. They had all these giant things of coffee, and you could go and do whatever the fuck you wanted with it. You could make a giant coffee.
Big enema.
They had all different milk, all different cream, all different sugars, sugar-free, this had everything. And I was like, oh, the variety in this place.
So much variety. Like, even with like, if you're on the keto diet or something like that.
Easy to eat well in America. We didn't, but it is easy to.
Man, we ate so much
I was
shit.
just saying it's pretty ironic saying you can eat well in America.
But
It is.
You can. And there's delicious food, like if you want to. Or I would say don't go to Whole Foods.
You will come out poor.
What did you buy? Claire bought.
I wanted some fruit because last time we were in the States, I had fruit and I remember raving. Mum will remember this. I told everyone back home, I was like, the fruit in America was so
nice.
fresh and beautiful and colourful and it just really was delicious.
Really hit the strong.
It did. So I was like, you know what? I've eaten so many burgers and crap. And we weren't walking a lot because it was so hot. And I was
40
like,
degrees every day.
I was like, lilac. I need a fruit tub.
Oh, I need
Let's
it
go
now.
to Whole Foods. I've always wanted to go. Let's go.
So we went to Whole Foods and Claire found this beautiful fruit tub for $15 USD, which I'm pretty sure translates to at least $33. Yeah. Maybe 27.
I learned from my ways, and everywhere else I just got a banana.
A $30 fruit tub.
Fuck, what did it have in it?
Just fruit.
Just a couple
Tropical fruit.
some pineapple, some melon, and some strawberries.
The
or something.
mango was some of the most delicious
Bit of
melon
mango.
I've ever had.
But it was like, you know, maybe 250 grams, 300 grams of fruit. Like, it wasn't that much.
And everyone in Whole Foods, all the memes are correct. They're rich white people, mostly skinny girls.
God. Yeah, I know. I fit
And
right
we
in.
saw lots of bum. What's the bum job people get? The Brazilian butt lifts.
The BBLs.
I say we saw lots. We saw 3.
But it was
But
big.
compared to back home, you don't really see that often.
It looks so ridiculous.
I loved it.
I hated it. Like, it's so stupid. It's like, why would you just not do squats, you lazy
I
fuck?
couldn't stop staring at this one lady. She had the biggest bum I've ever seen on such a small body.
And she just walks in, just knocking shit off shelves.
But we liked Trader Joe's too. That went off.
Trader Joe's was good. Claire got heaps of coffee from Trader Joe's.
Really good
Look
coffee.
at this. They pride themselves on like health and stuff at Trader Joe's. They don't sell soda, but they sell alcohol.
Go figure. So there's piss everywhere, alcohol, but you can't get Coke Zero.
In San Fran, there was piss everywhere.
San Fran was really disappointing.
Bridge was cool.
Worth to go look at the bridge.
Alcatraz was okay.
I liked Alcatraz.
It was good, but like near our house, we have Maitland Jail, right? And they do these big tours of the whole thing. At Alcatraz, everyone jumps on this boat. They spend a fortune getting out there. They've all travelled, and then it's like one tiny little tour with, the headsets
These shitty
on.
headphones.
And I don't know. I just feel like there's more stories to tell there. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it was definitely worth going to San Fran.
Overpriced.
I wouldn't go there again.
I didn't feel safe there.
No, the crime in San Fran is outrageous. Like people are getting mugged all the time. As I was saying before, they defunded the police, and now in
Good job.
California, if you steal something under $950 of value, you'll just get like a slap on the wrist, a misdemeanor sort of crime, sort of the same as littering or
There's
jaywalking.
no penalties for these people behaving in terrible ways.
They behave
Same
like
here
fucking
with
animals.
these kids driving around the cars, breaking enters, and it's like, oh, they're a 15-year-old with anxiety. I don't give a shit. They stabbed someone.
Well, what about that? Those 2 kids in America who ran down that cyclist. Did you see that the other day?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
If you do an adult act, and I say adult loosely, but if you do an act like that, you should get
Oh, yeah.
consequences like you're an
If you
adult.
kill
If you drink
someone,
and drive
yeah.
and kill someone, I don't care if you're 12, go
Lock
to
'em up.
fucking jail.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's the same, but you have to. So you got to do something about this youth crime issue.
I don't know how to.
In Queensland, Tanya Palaszczuk, whatever stupid fucking name is, Tanya. What's her name? Who gives
Isn't
a
it
shit?
plebiscite?
Yeah, Tanya Plebisceks. She said, "Well, there's nothing we can do about youth crime." She said that a couple of years ago. I'm like, "Come on, mate.
Just sterilise them all.
You could do something. You could do just wipe them
I
out."
didn't say that. Yeah, I don't know. I just think
Yeah, don't let bogans have kids. Number one, get out of here. Number 2, you have to punish people when they do the wrong thing.
I think it's the consequences. I think they just need and a lot of them aren't going to learn. But I don't think sending these kids to jail is necessarily the answer, because as we know, they'll just go in there and get hooked on drugs and join gangs, and it'll just repeat itself. But I think we just need to like send them somewhere where they're forced to do like labour and get a trade of some sort, or even go and fucking pick fruit. I don't know, pick up rubbish for the next
I saw
whatever.
someone blowing up the other day about that in the prison system they don't pay people a proper wage to do work in prison.
No shit.
And I was just like, well, don't go to prison.
You're in jail, dude.
Don't go to prison,
Don't
bro.
stab people.
Don't go to prison, man. You'll get a better wage.
Fuck me.
The tipping in America can fuck off. Like if you're American, listen to this. You're tipping. I know you're used to it, but it is ridiculous.
I feel sorry for them, but it's really hard, especially as a tourist going over there, because we're like, okay, we've got a set amount of money we can spend.
Yeah.
And it's so expensive. Everything's so dear already. And then you have to tip these people. Pay your fucking staff.
And they know too. They know when they see a foreigner and they go, you're not going to tip me, mate. So they phone it in.
I think we tipped like 2 people really well that were nice.
Like well.
And then the other ones, it was like.
Just regular. I took, at the end of it, you did it the whole way through, but at the end of it, I took pride in pressing no tip on the thing.
I did no tip.
Well, if they're just turning around and grabbing something off a shelf or whatever, you fuck off. You're not getting a tip, mate.
Especially if they were rude. Like, there was one lady at Starbucks who was just really rude, and I was like, no, I'm not giving you the rest of our fucking coffee money, babe.
2 coffees at Starbucks was $20.
Pumpkin spice lattes took over my life.
Oh, yeah, what about this morning when you put the wrong fucking... Well, I put the wrong beans in, and they weren't pumpkin spice, and Dixon sat there and went, fucking not today, babe.
We went to Walmart, and I got 2 bags of pumpkin spice latte ground, took it home, and I'm down to my final bag. So I'm a little bit worried.
Final bag now. Do-do-do-do.
Such a white girl thing too.
PSL. Do-do-do-do. Pumpkin spice latte.
Did you like them, or were they too sweet for you?
Babe, you know me, I'm sweet enough. No, they were all right. I don't know. I don't know about the whole pumpkin thing.
What about the cold brew pumpkin cream?
You're asking too many questions of me, Sheila.
I loved it.
No, it was nice. I enjoyed the butterbeer at Universal more than anything else. That was great. The butterbeer
Universal's
was delicious.
a very cool experience.
It is, and I'm looking forward to going back there when Addie's a bit older and he can actually enjoy it, and when it's not 35 effing degrees.
So we're thinking tour next year. We go when it's cool.
Yeah,
you live and learn.
You live and learn, and we'll take Addie. We'll take him whenever we're over there. I mean, it's $150 or whatever it is, but you're there. You're in. You know, what's $150 when you're already made the trek over there?
100%.
Although we did spend way too much money on this trip.
Yeah, we've learned a lot.
But
hire car. What else?
We don't live in excess. Like, I mean, you could go over there and spend what we spent on 3 weeks over there in one night on an Airbnb, like a flash one.
We spent a lot of money on stuff that you wouldn't think would cost a lot, like your hire cars.
Drugs.
No,
the hire cars got us. Gucci.
Oh, really?
No Gucci.
I didn't see many people walking around in the designer stuff like they do here, which was kind of cool in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't notice anyone flaunting, like, shit that doesn't matter. I feel like everyone was dressed just normally. It was really nice.
I wonder if it was because it was that hot and people. But it is Texas, and Texas is different. Texas is not America. Texas is its own sort of thing.
It is. It felt like its own little utopia,
which is great because it felt a lot like home too.
It did, and people, like, we've said to friends since we've come home, like, oh, I felt really safe. I felt welcome. All these sorts of things, and people were like, what about the guns? What about the guns? And I was like, I didn't care that they had guns. I felt safe knowing that most people that had a gun there weren't crazy people. We
had dinner with a lady and some friends who had showed us later, not at dinner, that'd be weird. Where's the salt? She had a handgun in her purse. It had a little holster in her purse. Just this little like thing.
I don't know. I wasn't as... You know what? I think the first time we went to America, the gun thing really frightened me because we went to a gun show, and we looked.
Everyone's walking
around with pistols and shit, and I was a bit like... Whereas now that I've sort of seen that, just knowing that most people had like a little handgun in their purse, I don't know. I was desensitized a little bit.
I think it's good to, like, I love guns and I enjoy shooting them, but it does obviously worry me that crazy people get guns in their hands.
Yeah, it just should be screened more.
Yeah, but one of the issues is they have so many guns over there. They have more guns than people. I think it's like 4 to 1 or something crazy like that.
Wow.
And people can just pick up guns illegally off the street,
and buy them easily.
And buy them relatively
That's what needs to
easily.
fucking change.
That's the problem. And
Whereas some old granddad having a fucking rifle because he collects them and shoots targets at his farm, that doesn't bother me at all.
Way.
And also, I felt like a lot of people there that had guns were decent people, and if shit was going down, I liked knowing that when we were at Terry Black's barbecue, that some old pop behind us had his fucking handgun there, and if
Ready
someone
to go.
tried to rape and kill me,
Jesus.
he'd go,
man.
But yeah, you do have that.
am I wrong?
No, you're right. You have that, and you've spoken about this before. You have nothing to protect you here.
No, that one conversation with that lady at the gun show changed my views on all of this.
Yeah.
She was like, what do you have to protect yourself back home? I was like, oh, nothing. We called the police. And she's like, and they have guns? And I was like, yeah. She's like, so you can't have a gun, but you call someone that's got a gun to go protect you.
Yeah.
And she goes, do you have pepper spray? And I was like, no.
They sell pepper spray at fucking Walmart.
Why don't we have pepper spray? Like,
That's
if we're
ridiculous.
all feeling so unsafe walking at night, why can't we, as women, have pepper spray?
That is crazy.
What are we supposed to do, Anthony Albanese?
Yeah. Your dog. How's that lady in Stockton died because she got shot with a beanbag?
I'm sorry.
No, not a not
That
a.
old lady.
I'm not sure how old she was, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was recently.
A bean bag?
So you know how they have those guns that shoot little bean bags?
Yeah.
She got shot with one of those, and now they've
It hit. Oh.
hit her in the chest. But I mean, I think she was doing something dodgy. I can't remember what it was, but I mean,
Killers are going to kill.
what?
I don't know. I'm just, with all this stuff, I just think if you're a bad person,
Yeah,
you're gonna,
you'll find a way.
you'll kill someone with fucking
There,
anything.
there is more people, I'm pretty sure, murdered in London or in the UK than there are in New York City, sort of thing.
With knives?
With knives, yeah. So
Yeah, that scares me.
you know, and people are carrying knives everywhere. There was actually a home invasion in Newcastle yesterday, I think it was, in Merriweather, and all these young kids ran in and stabbed someone. Can we hear Addie snoring?
Yeah, I was like, trying to work out what the fuck that was.
Isn't he beautiful?
So beautiful.
Don't get me wrong, I don't want to have a gun around Addie or anything like that. I don't want to own one myself, but I think people should have a right to own one.
It's so hard.
Got two already, babe.
It's so hard to get them over here as well.
Yeah,
I
it is.
got my what is it? Not the prelim or pre something license for
Pre-cum.
Pre-cum. I got my pre-cum license for a pistol, and that took 4 months in itself to get that, and I still couldn't own a gun for another year after that.
Really?
So I had to keep I had to keep borrowing the guns every time I went to the pistol range. Yeah, and then you got to go shoot once every 4 times a year or something to keep
Yeah,
your license as well.
Oh my God.
Oh, they make it so hard in this country, but I think when
Just
we go
some
back,
pepper spray.
well,
You're selling vapes and cigarettes. Give us some pepper spray.
that is beyond me. That is illegal here in this
Like-
country. Like, if you want to help women, give them fucking pepper spray.
Give us something to fucking defend
But
ourselves
here's
with.
here's the argument against that. Well, men shouldn't attack them.
Yeah, but they're going to.
100%.
And women are going to attack other women.
Everyone's going to attack
People
everyone.
are going to be violent. Let us defend ourselves.
Exactly. The
Instead
only-
of this fucking waving your stupid flags and you fucking fix this and parade around about this.
Get 'em, Diggy.
People are going to do the wrong thing. Let us defend ourselves.
I agree with you.
And defend our fucking families.
Yeah, and our freedom.
I'm not going to say that. I'll just sound like a fucking wanker. But I don't know. Just, yeah. People are going to do bad shit.
Exactly. So what do you do if someone's like man or woman, if they're much bigger than you and they're going to hurt you? Well, what if they're faster than you? What are you going to do? Crawl up in a ball?
Oh, it's just stupid. I don't know.
At least pepper spray gives you a fighting chance.
Yes, I just think it's wrong. And since having Addie, my thoughts on all that have changed. Like, I'm just like, nah, I want something to fucking protect myself with. Walking around with the pram.
That's why
With the pram.
When I walk at night, I walk with my dick out. And I just swing it around. I go, anyone want to fuck with me? I'm
What
ready.
are your thoughts? Like, do you think like women should have pepper spray here and men?
Not around me.
No, not in shows. No.
No, I do. I think anyone should be able to buy pepper spray. It's a non-lethal defense mechanism, and you should be
100%.
able to use it. I mean, the fact that you can't, as a woman who is who's smaller than the dudes that are probably going to attack you, can't get something to protect yourself, and if you have a knife on you, then that's just going to be worse for you.
I felt like shook when this woman said that to me like 2 years ago.
Makes so
I
much
felt
sense.
really dumb and like I felt very uneducated and
Google
everything.
why
I
is
was
it.
like, oh, she sort of just said to me like point blank, nah, what do you do to defend yourself? And I went, oh, I was like, well, nothing really. I said, you call the police and hope they arrive. No hate to the police, by the way, but that's what you do, I guess.
Carrying or owning pepper spray, whether for self-defense or not, is illegal in the majority of Australia. Exception is Western Australia. However, it's not a free-for-all type.
But buy your cigarettes and vapes and alcohol.
It's not illegal.
And drive a car.
Yeah. I don't know. That is crazy though.
That's some bullshit right
Weapons
there.
are illegal to carry for use or...
It's not a weapon though.
Weapons are usually illegal to carry for self-defense purposes in Australia. Isn't that crazy?
Yay.
Fuck, man.
We can't even have those gel blaster toys.
No, I know.
You can in Queensland, but everywhere else you can go to prison for having a unlicensed firearm.
But most people, and we talk about this all the time, I think that most people are good people that aren't going to do dodgy shit with that. And the people that are doing the bad crimes are going to get their mitts on this shit anyway.
100%.
Don't you think like these little gangsters and stuff are all going to get this shit some way, one way or another? The normal people just want to have some fun with it or protect themselves.
Well, most of the people who commit atrocities with weapons usually have bought them either illegally or taken them from someone else, or they bought them a long time ago. So, like, it's very rare that someone will walk into a gun store in America and buy a gun and then go and kill someone with it. I mean, obviously it would happen, but like these mass shootings, either they've owned them for a while or it's a family member's.
They got it out safe.
And it's not so much a weapons thing. It's more like, okay, what's their mental health like at this point?
There should be screening for it. You should have to have like...
You should have a mental health check.
Severe, definitely.
And you should have to renew your license and have another mental health check.
That's a great idea.
Like, sit down with these people and go,
Yes.
hey, are you thinking of like shooting up a school?
Yeah.
They're like, nah. But I tell you what, those elves out the front of my house won't shut the fuck
Or
up
I
at
was
night.
bullied at that school and I've been off my
Yeah.
meds lately and I dyed my hair purple.
100%. Like,
Alarm bells.
you know, you have to have mental health screenings to go into the army. You should have mental health screenings to go into to get a gun, and you do. But they should update them because
Isaac Butterfield, 4 p.m.
PM me up
Not really. That'd be a ghastly job.
for president. But no, we had a great time in America. We're looking forward to going back. And Addy did a great job. He slept 9 hours on the way home because we flew at midnight. That was a great move.
Oh, he's just perfect. It's so I love that we are lucky enough to show him the world.
Yeah, that's what I like. Because what I said to you earlier, before we had him, it's like either we all go or no one goes.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll
We're
in
a
this
family.
house.
We go together.
My word, ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute brilliant episode to be back. It's been real. Is there anything, Clary, that you wanted to update? Peachy by Rose has new socks.
Yes, our new designs have landed on Peachy by Rose, so please check them out.
If you're a Pilates gal or guy,
Or yoga gal, or
yoga guy, go and check them out at Peachy by Rose at Gmail. I don't know why I threw that in. It's Peachy by Rose on Instagram. I'm doing some shows at where am I doing shows at?
Everywhere.
By the way, Atticus isn't suffocating. He's just been a bit sick, so he's got a bit of phlegm happening up there. So if anyone
making snooze noises.
if anyone in the comments wants to give us advice on parenting, kindly fuck off.
Or diagnosis.
Mount Evelyn, Victoria, November 10th. Chelsea Heights, Victoria, November 11th. Dubbo, it's on the 16th of November. Forbes on the 17th. Bathurst on the 18th of November. And Woy Woy, Central Coast on the 25th of November. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you very soon. Little Dickie, as always.
Give me my gun. Totally joking.
Listen to this episode on Spotify. It's really good. Bye.
Bye.